You're listening to Intellectual Nudity, uncensored, uninhibited, unleashed. The Jose Soto Show.
The thing that has been sort of percolating in my mind is what many of these reactionary conservatives are saying. Like Rick Santorum. Oh, Frothy. Frothy said, oh, you remember Frothy, right? Oh, nice and wet. Frothy Santorum is playing with the idea of running for the presidency again. Like the first time was really it was a huge success. Yeah, but that's okay though. I think the Republicans should nominate Rick Santorum. I mean, if that's who they if that's the kind of person that represents them and their base, why not? Why not have a raving fascist reactionary up there? And the people, they're gonna say, "Fuck this." They're not gonna vote for somebody like that. And let me say that the Republican establishment knows this. But again, the grassroots or the base or these evangelicals are so detached, not from reality, but from our country. And they know they're shrinking. Their whole warped Austrian economics, reactionary theology, reactionary social policy. They know they're losing. So they have to really get out there and say, no, no, no. What we represent is the majority of the American people, which is bogus, by the way. All these conservatives say, Rush Limbaugh, especially Mark Levin. We represent the majority of the people. The great one from the bunker. You know what he's saying? He's saying, we conservatives, we represent the American people. Well, if that is true, why didn't you win in 2012? Well, because it was Romney's fault. Okay. No, dumbass, it's your fault because you nominated him. I think you did, right? Yeah, because Mark Levin lives in Virginia, and in Virginia there was only Ron Paul. I remember. Ron Paul and Mitt Romney were on the ticket. That's it. Everybody else was bailing out. So I don't know who he voted for. I mean, probably he voted for Mitt Romney. He couldn't vote for Ron Paul. He was fed up with Ron Paul. He was against Ron Paul for the wrong reasons, I think. I don't know. Yeah, because of Israel. He's one of those Israel fetishists. But the thing is, with Mark Levin and with Rush Limbaugh and all these people, Rick Santorum. But it's not just Rick Santorum, the fact that he's going to probably run for president. And if he does, that's a really good thing because the American people, I think, are so, I wouldn't say so, but they're somewhat oblivious to what's going on in the steam room that we call the bubble, the hot mess, the cesspool of conservative reactionary ideology. They need to be exposed. They need to know what it is to be under a fascist dictatorship regime of the conservative reactionary movement. They need to look at the South and at the Midwest. Look at Michigan. Look at what's going on over there with those fascist little Hitlers going around to Grand Rapids and going around to Detroit and destroying Republic representation by nullifying these city councils and having one person run the whole city. A little dictator, a little Hitler. And where are these anti-government types, these cowboys with their big guns, saying, we need guns to defend ourselves against the government. Well, go ahead. Defend yourself against Snyder and his little dictators in Michigan who are taking over your government through fiat. That's different. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because he's a Republican. I forgot about that. The thing is, people are talking. How is the Republican Party gonna change? I don't know if it's gonna change. And I talked to one of my friends. She works at the Attorney General's office here in Arizona, and she believes, oh, we're gonna, we are on the right path, and all that. It's gonna be fine. The Republican Party will continue to be the majority party here in Arizona. I'm like, no. I mean, look at all these polling now here in Arizona. People are getting fed up with this shit. And the reason why you didn't win is because people didn't vote for you. And you have to ask yourself, why they didn't vote for us? It's because you have stupid anti-American ideas. That's it. I'm not going to spend 2 hours trying to explain all of it because I'm not going to do that. But here's a challenge, though. And, I've been thinking about this. You know how Rush Limbaugh, especially Mark Levin. Mark Levin, he's out there. He's like, get out there, all my teabaggers. Get out there and get our country back. All right, Mark. Instead of you hiding in your little bunker, why don't we test your theory that the American people are all conservatives? Let's test that theory, shall we? Why doesn't Mark Levin run for president? Or how about this, Rush Limbaugh? They're solid conservative, pro-tea baggers, right? They're anti-gay and, pro-fascist, proto-fascist, pseudo-fascist. So, they want to cut spending, they want to cut Medicare, they want to cut Social Security, they want to cut all these social safety net programs. They want to cut school lunches for the kids, they want to cut health care for the kids, or they want to, kill some people. That's fine. Let's put that to a test. Why don't we have Mark Levin and Rush Limbaugh run for president and vice president? Let's have Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin on the ticket. And let's test it out. Once and for all, I challenge him and all these conservatives to put Mark Levin, Rush Limbaugh on a presidential ticket for the Republican Party and let the people vote and see if it's true that the American people, because that's what he says, Mark Levin, we the American people, like if he represents the American people. I don't represent anybody. I represent me, by the way. But he says, no, I represent the American people. I have a bunker. I write books. I'm an ambulance chaser. That's what he is. Groucho Marx. So yeah, that's my challenge. And I hate being political and all, but the thing is, I'm getting sick and tired of these people, man. I'm sick and tired of them gay bashing and saying all these stupid things. Meanwhile, the elite, the creme of the country, the controllers, are going psycho in Wall Street. And they're looting our treasury, using our Federal Reserve System as their personal piggy bank, while everybody else has to sacrifice. While rich corporations, GE, Google, and all these other corporations, they pay no taxes. They can avoid paying taxes. And the rich, I'm not talking about just rich, super duper uber rich. How about, billionaires that hide their money in these secret accounts and, and offshore banks. And the thing is, they do it because they hate America. They don't want to spend a single dime in this country. If they care about America and recover the economy, they would say, you know what? Invest money in equipment, in factories, and labor. But they can't do that. They won't do that. They won't release credit from the Federal Reserve so we can have some sort of infrastructure program, which, of course, the majority of American people support. The thing is sometimes we have to get political. We have to say, look, these things need to be done so we can recover economically. so everybody's lives will be better. That's the thing. But my challenge is simple. I just want to put this to rest because this claim that the American people support conservative fascist ideologies, we're going to have to put that to a test. Put it to a test. Since the people who advocate for that, who Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin, since they are the ones that basically formulated the whole conservative movement, put them on the ballot. And let's see if the American people vote for them. And if they win, right? They become president, vice president. We have President Levin and Vice President Limbaugh. Mark Levin can move the White House to Jerusalem and, party with his pal Bibi. Yeah, all that shit. Great. Fuck America, right? I'm for the Constitution. Well, all right, whatever. Why don't you tell your teabaggers in the House of Representatives, Mark Levin, Chief, General, the great one. Why don't you tell your little teabagger friends like Rand Paul, little Rand, little Hitler Rand. Why don't you tell him to obey the Constitution and pay the bills of the country? 14th Amendment says that all debts shall be paid. There, it says that. Do it. Stop being a moron. Stop trying to defraud people and shaking them down. Buy my book! Buy my book! Oh, hey. Everybody's selling a book these days, especially conservatives. Every fucking conservative out there is selling a damn fucking book. I'm so sick and tired of that shit. Really. And the doofuses that buy these books. And they keep repeating the same shit over again. The same shit over again. Nothing new. The same fascist rhetoric. We need less government, which means no government, which means less government for the rich, more government for you. Which means, when they say less government, what do they really mean? They mean less regulation for the Wall Street criminals, for the hedge fund hyenas, for the Mitt Romneys and all these other looters of the Treasury. That's what they're talking about. Hank Paulsons. They're talking about, these I don't know what they are. These ghouls of Wall Street and hedge funds to get away with murder practically. That's what they want to legalize theft in America. That's what they want. And, Mark Levin can say, oh, they're telling us which toilets we can use and all that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can make that argument. But people don't really care because, Mark, they shit on toilets. It's a shitter. Fuck it. Who gives a shit if the government puts a seal on it? I don't really care. I used to care about that shit. But it's like, what's the end game with that? Should we be worried about our economy? Yes, we should be. And the thing is, these reactionary conservatives are using these most stupidest common denominator arguments to sustain their propaganda machine, their conservative industrial complex. And every fucking conservative, I don't know what the hell is it. And I have a lot of conservative friends who I respect them. Like, one conservative I respect is Ted Olson. I think he's a really good conservative. He knows what he's talking about. It's not just because of the gay marriage thing, but he has a lot of good things to say. Not just about gay marriage. People say, oh, because, I agree with Ted Olson a lot. David Boies less, but Ted Olson has a lot of good things to say. But the thing is it, I don't know, did Ted Olson write a book? I don't think he has written a book. No. There are some of these conservatives. They're not conservative. Let's forget about that C word, conservative. These people are not conservative. These people are punks. These people are thugs and reactionaries. They hate America. They hate production. And they're greedy ass motherfuckers who don't give a shit about human life. And they talk about, babies and uteruses and fetuses. But they don't give a shit. Because once you're born, you want school lunches? Fuck you. You want WIC? Fuck you. Oh, nope, none of this shit. They're not pro-life. You must be kidding me if they're pro-life. What they are is pro-New York Times bestseller list. That's what they are. I mean, look at Drudge, another reactionary. One that I actually kind of respect in a way, because at least he's not out there selling a damn book. But everybody else is selling a book. And Drudge goes out there and, he, I think every month he puts up a list of the best sellers, who's selling the best book out there, who has the best book sales. Puts up, Rush Limbaugh, Levin, he puts up Bill O'Reilly. Like, every fucking conservative has a fucking book about some stupid, meaningless shit that nobody cares about. We've already been there. We tried it in the Reagan years. It hasn't worked. Fuck you. And fuck your book. Stick it up your ass. I don't care what you do with it. Save some trees. Don't write any more books. Instead of writing books, why don't you just govern? It's funny. Rick Santorum, he has a book, right? Oh, Ann Coulter has a lot of books. Michelle Malkin. Oh, everybody has a damn book. Porno Pete has a book. Everybody has a book. Everybody has a book, but not a plan to recover and restore America. These people are booksellers. They're publishers. They're about selling books. They're not about governing. Every fucking conservative has a book. And this is the reason why I don't believe that this teabagger, conservative, reactionary grassroots movement is actually that grassroots. Because they had to pump out so many books. They had to write a lot of books. And if you look at these political books, I don't know what it was. I think somebody told me it was around 70% of all political books are right-wing. Not just conservative. I'm not talking about conservative, oh, let's not spend that much money. We can save Social Security. No, I'm not talking about that. They're talking about gutting the Social Security system. Talking about how it's illegal and unconstitutional to help somebody get free aspirin. That is what they're saying. The most stupidest, inhumane things that you can imagine. And I know I'm going off on this rant, but golly, it's pissing me off. And that's why you're going to lose. Why don't you stop writing books, get out of the house, get out of your bunker, and start looking at the people who are suffering in this country and wonder why that's happening. Figure it out. And the best way to do that, Jesse Ventura, one of the few people I actually buy books from, because he's more interesting. He's more about, laying out a few interesting questions. He's not a demagogue like all these other wackos out there. But Jesse Ventura puts out a really good question. And he said, not a question, but a remark. Follow the money. You follow the money, you know who stole it. And what happened in 2008, what happened in 2007, that was all theft. Don't give me this bullshit that the money just disappeared into thin air and went to another dimension. It's not going to happen. Money doesn't disappear. It moves. What happened in 2008 was a movement of money away from the middle class, away from the lower classes, to the centralized top of the oligarchs and the ruling class. That's what we have. That's what's going on. And these circus clowns, these snake oil salesmen selling their books, they're there to distract you. Oh my God, look at the gays. Oh my God, they're taking your guns. All this other bullshit. So that you can be distracted while they loot the treasury, while they take away your pension, they take away your Medicare, they take away all of your economic rights. Hey, but at least we ban gay marriage. Hey, at least we stop abortions. Yeah, but because we cut all these programs now, millions of poor children are going to be dead. That's okay. At least they didn't die of an abortion. That's a good thing. We prefer that they suffer and die of starvation or malnutrition or other diseases, but abortion, At least they didn't get aborted. That's their logic, right? But what's up with this? I mean, every fucking conservative has a book. Somebody explain that to me. Why is that happening? The only thing I can come up with right now is that it's all a money scheme. Look, there's nothing wrong with writing a book. As long as you have something interesting to say. Look, like Jesse Ventura, I just mentioned him. He's a former governor. He was in the Navy SEAL. He was a wrestler. So he had a lot of interesting things to say in his books. And of course, he hosts a show. And he talks about conspiracy theories and all that. And his take on conspiracy theories. So it was a pretty interesting read. It wasn't too political. Yeah, it had some few political things here and there. But it was well balanced. It wasn't that that wacky. It was fine. It was digestible. And I enjoyed Jesse Ventura's book. I buy books from a lot of people because they're interesting books. Not raving, foam into the mouth, regurgitation from the bunker. If you are, let me say, I mean, how can I really fathom this? Because if you are a conservative, you are a reaction. No, I'm not conservative. Actually, that doesn't even exist anymore. There are only a few conservatives left in America. If you are a right-wing, reactionary, redneck inbred who thinks that the government is after your guns, who thinks that the government is run by Satan, that's what people think. These evangelicals and reactionaries, they have these thoughts in their head. They all think alike, basically. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So if you all know the program, if you all know the script, why bother buying books then? You know what they're going to say before they even get printed. So why? I mean, like, if you listen to Mark Levin and Rush Limbaugh, why buy their books? Because you know what they're going to say. You've been listening to them for years, right? So what's the point? And look at Rush Limbaugh. Look at that motherfucker. Look at that fucking whore. Yes, I call him a whore. How about this? A slut. How about that? You are a money whore. You are a slut. I said it. Yes, I said it. I don't care. I mean, look at this guy. He's selling excellence in broadcasting shirts, mugs. He's selling soap. You get that? And what is it? EIB soap. Soap that you can buy at your local drugstore. No, you have to buy the Rush Limbaugh approved soap. The Rush Limbaugh approved, and he's also selling his replica of his chair, the EIB chair. He's selling that gold microphone. That guy is a fucking whore. Plain and simple. And look at Mark Levin. Every year, new book. Well, what's his new book now? Ameritopia. What do you think that's about? Let me guess. I don't know. Leftist, liberals, statists, they're all after our liberty. No shit. It's the same bullshit every year, every book, same thing. And he writes books about the Supreme Court, and I read that book, I think, for free. I don't want to pay for that shit, and I just tossed it out for 2 chapters into it. I'm like, what the hell is this lunatic talking about? First of all, you're just an ambulance chasing lawyer. Why don't you write a book about how to chase ambulances instead of writing books about the Supreme Court? Once you make it to the Supreme Court, whenever, God forbid, you're ever nominated to the Supreme Court, then write a book about that. Other than that, shut the fuck up. Let me just say this. If I ever write a book, and I'm trying to sell it and trying to shake my listeners down, can you please kill me? Somebody shoot me if I ever do that. Somebody please send me your email, your address, so I can ship you a gun with a bullet in it. And whenever I come out with a book, you shoot me. The only reason why you should have a book is because there's something interesting going on in your life. And believe me, there's not that much. Well, there's a lot of things going on in my life, but it's not really that unique or interesting. It's not like I flew to the moon or something and write a book about that. And that would be interesting. Yeah, but all this other shit, like, well, I'd rather read books about people who have different, unique takes on certain issues, or books about people's lives that are interesting to me. That's the kind of books that I like. Not books about ideology, because I already know that. I don't really care. Why should I be? It's like, I don't know. I feel like a Jehovah's Witness when I was a young kid, and reading the Watchtower magazines over and over again, just being pounded in my head and shoved down my throat. Yeah, what can I say? You conservatives, you're shoving down your ideology down my throat with your books. Shut up already. Oh, if I say that, they'll be like, oh, you're a statist. You're a leftist. You're trying to impose. You're trying to censor us and take away our First Amendment rights, our Bill of Rights. No, they're trying to sell books so they can make money. And there's nothing wrong with making money. Although I have standards and ethical ways of making money. I'm not here to shake down people. I'm not. So I'm not here to sell any mugs, shirts, soaps. Because I remember my former producer that I had when I was doing this a few years ago, this show, he told me, Jose, you gotta start branding your name. He wanted me to trademark my name. He wanted me to sell shirts with my name on it. And I'm like, no. I don't wanna, I'm not in this business. I don't know if I call this a business. I'm not in this, Jose Soto Show thing to sell shirts with my name on it. I'm not here to shake people down. You know what? Instead of you sending me $5 for a useless shirt that one day is going to tear apart and you're going to use it as a washcloth for your car, instead of wasting your money on that shit, save it for yourself. Go to the movies. Take your girlfriend out for a nice date or something, or your boyfriend. Go somewhere and spend your money on you. Okay? Don't buy people, don't buy other people's crap and shit and garbage that within a few days you're not going to use, and you're going to be like, what the fuck did I just buy? Because that happened to me many times. I'm just talking from experience here. So if you're going to buy a book, it better be a really good damn book. That's all I'm saying. And if you're just going to buy books because, I'm a Mark Levin fan, you're a dupe. You've been duped. I mean, he's making his money out of your stupidity. You cannot really think that... Well, first of all, let me say this. If Mark Levin really cares about America, which he doesn't, but let's say he does. Let's say that Mark Levin really cares about America. He comes up with a manifesto as to how to fix the country. If he has found the solution to fix the country, don't write a book. Write a pamphlet. And in fact, don't even write a pamphlet. Why don't you open a website, write all of it down, and have it available for free for everybody to read? Why do you need to sell a book? If you have the answer, great one. The answer and the solution to our problems of this country, we Americans should not pay for that. It should be a godsend to us if you have the greatest solution ever. If it's so great, let people read it for free. Don't charge people money for a book. Don't even sell the book. Just give it out there royalty free, not copyrighted. Let people look at it. Present your evidence, present your theories, and see if it works. Oh, you won't do that? Why not, Mr. Levin? Oh, because I need to make money. It's like that Bully movie. Remember that movie, Bully? A lot of gay people remember that because that movie was geared towards gay people. And yeah, you guessed it. It's about bullying, and it was produced by the Weinstein Company. And so, they made this whole big fuss that, it was going to get an R rating and it should be PG-13 so it can show it to the schools. People should buy this DVD. It's so important. Buy it and donate it to your school. But, buy this DVD. Buy this DVD. Go to the movies and buy the tickets. And the thing is, if it really was a real important movie about bullying and how to stop bullying and help these kids, especially gay kids, Mr. Weinstein, don't charge people for this money. In fact, don't even put it in the movie theaters. Why don't you just put it on YouTube for everybody to see? It's very important. Why don't you give every school a free DVD? With your famous revolutionary documentary about bullying. Why don't you do that? Oh, no, because I need to earn money. Follow the money. Liberty and tyranny. That's what Mark Levin says, right? Every time he talks about, things, he says liberty and tyranny. Well, liberty is free. That's why we call, freedom, right? Because it's free of charge. No, it's not free of charge. You need to pay me. You need to pay me to write shit that you will digest without any question. It's mostly shit recycled from my other books and, shit that I say on my radio show. It's the same shit that you hear every day, but I'm going to put it in a book this time. And then you're going to spend money on it, even though you already know what I'm talking about. Does that make any sense at all? Does that make it? No, it doesn't make any sense. And same thing goes for liberals, but I don't know. Depends what they write about. But I don't see that many liberals writing books. Unless they were caught doing something. Like Blago, he should write a book. That guy should write a book. And you know what? I'll buy it because that's going to be interesting. But these other people writing books about politics and how it should be and all this and unless you were into some secret stuff, unless you have something really good to say, something revealing, like, I saw an alien or something at Area 51, that would be interesting. But for you to come out and say, liberty, tyranny, these activist judges, all these, free market, blah, blah. If I wanted to listen to that or read that kind of shit, why spend money on a book? Just turn on to the Mark Levin Show or the Rush Limbaugh Show or any other conservative radio talkhead. Why don't you just tune in to Fox News? It's free, I guess, for a lot of people. So it's like, I don't know. That's weird. Buy my book!